When your cat looks at you, pauses for a few seconds, and then doesn't come, do you actually know what that means? You probably think they're just being lazy, or ignoring you. But behind that tiny pause, there's something deeper that most people miss. It's one of the most emotionally loaded moments your cat experiences with you. And if you misread it, which most owners do, you might be pushing them away without even realizing it. Let's start with what that pause really means. Have you ever called your cat, watched them look right at you, and then just stop? Most people think it's simple. The cat doesn't feel like coming. But here's what's actually happening. That pause isn't laziness. It's a decision-making moment. Your cat is actively evaluating you. Your tone, your body language, the environment around you. In that split second, they're asking, is this safe? Is this worth it? And emotionally, that changes everything. Because your cat isn't reacting automatically. They're choosing. Think about that for a second. A predator animal built to act fast, choosing to slow down just to assess you. And by the way, if your cat ever starts walking toward you, then suddenly stops halfway and sits down, don't brush it off. We'll get to what that really means at the end. Why that exact pause? Why those few seconds? It feels random. But here's what most people don't realize. A 2019 study from the University of Tokyo found that cats form mental maps of their owner's presence and behavior, even when they're not directly interacting. Which means when your cat looks at you, they're not just seeing you in that moment. They're comparing you to past interactions. Behavioral scientists have observed that cats use these micropauses to predict outcomes. Will you pick them up? Move suddenly? Ignore them? And the emotional impact is huge. Because your cat isn't just reacting to you. They're remembering you. And deciding if this version of you feels safe to approach. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Have you noticed your cat sometimes looks at you, pauses, then slowly walks closer and rubs against you? Most people think that's just affection. But here's what's actually happening. Cats have scent glands around their face, paws, and body. When they approach after that pause, they're not just coming closer. They're confirming you as part of their territory. Studies on domestic cats reveal that scent marking isn't just about space. It's about identity. They're mixing their scent with yours, making you part of them. Think about that for a second. That tiny pause before they move? It's the moment they decide you belong in their world. And hey, if this makes sense to you, hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more cat lovers who actually want to understand what their cat is really saying. ***. This behavior didn't start with your house cat. It goes back thousands of years. In the wild, a cat that moves too quickly without assessing risk doesn't survive. That pause is instinct. Kittens learn early to freeze, observe, and calculate before approaching anything, including their own mother. And here's where it gets powerful. Your cat uses that same ancient survival system on you. But instead of prey or predators, you are the variable they're evaluating. That means every time they pause before coming closer, they're treating you as something important enough to assess carefully. Not random. Not automatic. Important. Pay attention to this next time someone else calls your cat. Do they pause the same way? Or do they ignore them completely, or walk away without thinking? Here's what most people don't realize. Cats reserve this kind of evaluation for specific people. People they recognize. People they've bonded with. Because the pause only matters when the outcome matters. If your cat doesn't care, they don't calculate. They just disengage. So if your cat looks at you, pauses, and considers coming closer, that means you're already inside their circle. You're not just background. You're a decision. Now let's go back to something I mentioned earlier. When your cat starts walking toward you, then suddenly stops halfway and sits down. This is what I was talking about. That moment is hesitation at its deepest level. Because approaching you means lowering their guard, turning their body, exposing themselves, giving up control of distance. Behavioral research shows that cats experience approach as a vulnerable act, especially in close social bonds. So when they stop midway, they're caught between instinct and trust. Part of them wants to come closer. Another part is holding back. And that tension is real. It's not rejection. It's your cat trying to feel safe enough to choose you. Think about that for a second. They didn't walk away. They just couldn't fully cross that invisible line yet. Now here's something most owners never notice. What if your cat stops pausing altogether? What if they either rush in without thinking or stop responding completely? That change matters. Because that pause is a sign of awareness, of engagement. If it disappears, it can mean stress, overstimulation, or even emotional withdrawal. This is where most owners get it wrong. They assume nothing changed. But something did. And ignoring that shift means missing one of the clearest signals your cat gives you. Don't ignore it. So when your cat looks at you, pauses for a few seconds, and then doesn't come, do you actually know what that means now? It's not laziness. It's not ignoring you. That's your cat thinking, measuring, deciding. That's your cat balancing instinct with trust. That's your cat choosing whether to come closer or protect themselves. That's not a small moment. That's a relationship happening in real time. And that pause, it was never empty. And it shouldn't be empty to you either.